This is what sucks. This is what sucks. We're at that point now. It's 8:00. We're at that point.
Well,
we're talking about the highlight of the weekend in that race.
You want to just go through the order real quick?
Yeah, give me the finishing order. Start from the back of the pack and go to the front.
Okay, so the 24th position is held down by the 47 machine of Kyle Yak. 23rd, the 2G of Brad Gentry. 22nd position was the 19W of Colin Weinbarger. 21st, the 33 of Arnie Case. 20th, the 914 of Jeff Daniel. Eric Jarnport cracked the top 20 with a 19th place finish. Ray Bloom finished 18th. Freya Swear in the 37 Green Machine was 17th.
Transferred out of the B.
16th, the 33E of Hunter Bloom. Jack Parshall finished 15th in the 9X. Don Schott in the 11X, 14th. Corey, you're going to have to help me with this one.
Pavel Shanka, 4?
No. Steve, the 10D.
10D is Dubasar.
Thank you.
That's a good little race car. First time we've seen him at Willamette, and he's from Southern down south. Fast, yep. Good run for him actually.
He finished 13th.
Yep.
Jesse Yankee in the 13Y was 12th. Dave Schmidt showed up in the 9 machine, finished 11th. Daniel Land in 2D cracked the top 10.
Drove the truck.
Mm-hmm.
The only truck in the race.
Yeah.
And that little thing was fast.
That was neat.
He had a good run going. He did.
Dakota Goddard in the 89 machine finished 9th. Chris West showed up and finished 8th. Mackenzie Lockhart backed her 7th place up the night before with another 7th place finish. Yep. Kevin Roberts, 6th. Joey Tardio, 5th position. Sean Cronk, so we haven't seen him much this year. The S29 was
there's another member of the Cronk family that they just drive race cars. They're good race car drivers. They really are. Sean Cronk had a pretty good weekend. That little Camaro of his, that 29 car, impressive. I mean, he was in the mix in a couple situations where there was multiple cars racing for position and just patience and played it out. And he's that guy that anybody else that's a good race car driver, you want to run clean, great, let's do it.
Yep.
You want a little bump and grind, go door to door, we can do that too. But let's be smart in how we do it.
Smart, exactly.
And that's what I like about watching
calculated.
Sean. Yes.
He's a very calculated, meticulous driver.
What Cronk is it that you know right now? Those guys it's mathematical to them.
Yeah.
Watching those guys.
It's got to be in their genes because if I remember right, Sean's dad used to race asphalt and was dang good at it too.
Yep, and we ran at Willamette for a while and was dang good at Willamette.
I mean, gosh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Andrew Lang in 3rd. 2nd place went to Brian Cronk. And then, of course, your Iron Giant winner for 2017, borrowed ride from Papa, Joey Tanner.
Now,
that's awesome.
Did you guys see the Iron Giant trophy?
Yeah, I tried picking it up, remember?
Yeah, tried picking it up. Here's the thing.
Is it bigger than last year?
Well, it's over 100 pounds,
yes.
I'll tell you that.
Now, this is how heavy this trophy is.
Some gun.
This is how heavy this trophy is. They set it up on top of Jody Tanner's Camaro, and it caved in the roof.
And that's no joke. It's the truth. He went, bam, and just caved
in the roof. The roof is caved into that race car from that trophy.
Sounds like Joey's going to be buying Papa a new race car.
A little bit of a body, you got a good body man over there, but they're going to need it. Yeah, that thing is heavy.
Yeah.
But, we were talking just moments ago, we were talking about the highlight of the weekend, with especially with this division. But I really think it was probably the best racing we saw overall. It came on night number 2 in this feature between Tanner and Cronk. It was exceptional. It was phenomenal. It was just plain fun to watch. Now, what sucks about that being the highlight of the weekend was it was also in the feature event where we saw the low light.
Yeah.
We saw the absolute darkest minute of the weekend that caught not just Dom and myself, but every single person at Willamette Speedway off guard.
Yeah.
We saw it on night number 1, and we saw it on night number 2. Let's back it up a little bit and go to night number 1. Let's talk about the incident that everybody's been talking about all week long since Saturday night. People have been talking about 2 particular deals at Willamette. Number 1, the Clyde Rood and Chris Frisbee deal. Number 2 was the Kyle Yak and Arnie Case deal. Let's start with the Clyde Rood and Chris Frisbee deal. Okay?
I wasn't there, so I didn't see anything. So
We've got some video of that. We've got some video of the other one. We've seen multiple angles.
yeah,
It absolutely, for me, ruined the weekend.
yeah,
There was a lot of people from out of town for this weekend for the Iron Giant. A lot of cars came from out of state. I'll tell you right now, there is a black eye on Willamette Speedway.
Just one?
No, two. Two very big black eyes. Disgusting. I've never seen anything like that at Willamette Speedway, and I pray to God I never see anything like it again.
yeah.
It was...
We were standing in front of the concession stand, and how many people were just appalled in the crowd?
Here's what made me sick. People were appalled, and you expect that.
Sure.
There were people cheering. There were people cheering this. I don't even know how to describe this. It's just disgusting to see people cheer for something like that when a driver drives down the backstretch wide open, under caution, and drills the back of another race car and tears up the equipment, possibly injures a driver. Thank God he wasn't injured, Chris Frisbee in the 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God he wasn't injured, because we talked with Lauren Cruzy, who was actually outside of the Chris Frisbee car. He looked over and he says Chris Frisbee was in the car, kind of rolling his neck around, shaking his arms out, under caution, kind of just relaxing. When Clyde Rood, wide open on the throttle, hit him from the back of the race car, broke his chassis, tore stuff up, and got out, stood on top of his race car, threw his helmet down, threw his gloves, his neck brace, ran across the track, flipped off Jeremy Means. You were part of this, Joel. You were part of the extreme. You got to see the stuff on the backside we didn't get to see.
Yep.
There is absolutely, and this is my opinion. Let me state this so we don't offend anybody, so we don't hurt anybody's feelings. Like, in this world that we live in now, where you can't say something without someone having to cry about it. Okay, all these snowflakes out there. I'm pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's as red as I was 2 weeks ago, guys.
I'll tell you right now, and I want everybody to hear this. This is my opinion. This is me.
Yep.
Talking what I would have done had that happen. If I was the track owner, I'll tell you right now, there's 2 race cars that would never see Willamette Speedway ever again. Mm-hmm. Ever. Not a chance. Don't even think about coming back here. You risked drivers' lives because your emotions got a hold of you. Mm-hmm. There is absolutely no justification. There is no way to excuse that behavior or allow it at any racetrack at any level across America, period. If you want to use your race car to try to hurt somebody or ram into somebody, you are done. Don't come back. That's my opinion, and that's what I think should happen. And if it does, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, so be it.
Absolutely. Joel, what you witnessed, tell me what you thought and felt.
Honestly, Corey, I didn't see either of them firsthand. I've seen videos of both. We've shared them amongst the Moxie group here to prepare for the show, and I'm going to say it out there for the race fans, because of what the videos contain. We don't feel it's responsible to share those videos with the general public,
right?
Because it's not
something we want on Moxie.
Right.
I'm not going to embarrass that racetrack any more than a few people have. And you know what's really sad about that? Going online, reading people's remarks that supported that decision.
Yeah.
That said, yeah, good for you. That's okay. Way to go. There are kids in those grandstands watching these drivers, looking up to them as heroes, and you're going to teach them this is what you do, this is how you handle a situation? No, that is not supported by me or anybody else I know, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and if you want to race like that, take it somewhere else.
And I can't count the messages we've gotten at Moxie of, my kid now knows how to tell someone they're number one. And that's the part that hurts me.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's sick. There's no sportsmanship in that.
We're all a family here. And when we can't settle it, granted, we all have that one brother or sister that we wanted to put in the trunk and push them down the staircase into the basement, lock the door, and leave them there for about an hour. But at the same time, we're grown. We know better. Let's just handle it like mature adults and walk it off.
That I agree. I totally agree.
That's the right thing to do. And for anybody that sat in those grandstands and cheered that on like it was cool, unbelievable. There's nothing cool about that.
No.
I mean, anytime, and you got to think about this too, Corey, is that it's not just the racers and the drivers that are being affected by this and put in danger, because anytime we step out of the truck, it's controlled. It's a controlled risk on the racetrack. You know, I've seen it. I've been buzzed. My fellow teammates have been buzzed by race cars unintentionally.
Right.
So if we have to get on the track and we're dealing with that type of a stressful situation on the track, 9 times out of 10, we've got at least one or two of us looking down track to see where the cars are coming and everything else. Those drivers don't know what's going to happen. When you have an emotionally charged situation like that, it gets very dangerous very quickly. That's what scared me about that whole situation.
Sure, given the position that you're in, I mean, being on a racetrack where people are heated and there's emotions, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen that type of behavior at, the Bowman Gray Stadium on the TV show where it's expected. Those guys are, I'm not even going to talk about that low-class racing that they promote and try to sell and think it's neat. There's nothing neat about it. There's nothing neat about it. As a race car driver, the experience as a former champion, as a guy that's has everybody looking up to you because you truly are one of the most talented drivers around. You're fast. There is no need for that. There was plenty of time.
Sure.
30 laps left. Plenty of time to drive that race, and who knows what could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But that 1 second you made the decision to ram your car into somebody else, whether it's from the side or from behind. Let's take this to the extreme. Let's take this to the extreme. What happens if Clyde Rood drives that car up underneath Chris Frisbee, something snaps, a fuel line comes off, it ignites on his motor, and Chris Frisbee can't get out of his car? What happens if he burns up? What happens if Clyde burns up? Someone dies out of this. Are those fans going to celebrate? Are those people that were supporting that going to celebrate that behavior? Hell no, they're not. What happens if you come down to the top of the racetrack, slam someone in the door, and that car turns over and again goes on fire or worse, and somebody dies? You're gonna justify that? You're gonna support that behavior? That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who celebrated should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Anybody who made the decision to do that with a race car should be more ashamed of themselves. Mm-hmm. Why do you guys look at? You guys are sitting here looking like I'm yelling at you like a little.
No, we're listening intently.
No, I want your feedback. I'm pissed. I mean, you guys can tell, obviously.
Well, truthfully, and that's why I know it sounds silly. That's why I race Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have little drama. It's not that I stay in fourth place or whatever because the car isn't fast enough. I'm not going to deal with the confrontation. If those guys want points, let them have points. I'm there to have a good time. That's what racing was supposed to be.
Right. Well, that didn't happen this week.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. If that's what it is about money, I don't think it's the right sport. It can't be about money always. If you want to have fun, and that's what you're supposed to be doing, that's why I race Hornets, because I have fun. And I don't have the drama.
Right. Well, and the drama you had to experience on the backside of the racetrack was just, listen to the horror story that happened back there. So think about this.
There's two steps to this whole situation.
There is. There's more than just what's going on and what we see on the racetrack as fans and track personnel. What happened out back even further embarrasses the racetrack. Number one, we had drivers from out of state. They're going to go back to where they came from and says, you're not going to believe how those guys raced down there.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe what they allow.
Well, remember at one point I actually had to say, folks, there's a race going on.
Yes.
Because everybody was turned
over
around.
turn one trying to see a fight. How embarrassing is that for Willamette Speedway? How embarrassing is that for any racetrack where you've got to get everybody's attention back to the racetrack because they'd rather see a fist fight? Drivers come from out of state.
Yeah.
Fans coming from out of state. And they're going to take that back to where they came from and says, you're not going to believe what we saw. You're not going to believe what that racetrack allows. They let that guy race on night number 2.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if I was the track owner, and I know I'm not, and I know this doesn't mean anything to anybody, that race car, that particular driver would never step foot in that facility ever again, period. You do something like with a race car, you are done. You can go find some other place that'll let you race like that.
Sure.
It's embarrassing. It makes me just disgusted to see something like that happen at Willamette Speedway.
Oh, I agree.
There's no place for that anywhere in this game.